happened at all. You know, it was a really poor start for us, and got behind by enough where we didn't make it back all the way. After we got past about play 20 on both sides of the ball, we were fine, and we played really good football, and saw some things that were really encouraging. To see the offense come to life in a number of ways. The ability to use the whole system of the running game and pass protection really picking up once we got rolling, and Russell able to use all of the receivers and mix the ball around, and the receiving group played really well. There was a lot of real positive things. I love the third down movement that we made on offense and all that stuff. So, and I'm very, very disappointed in the way we started and in the impact of the kicking game in this game. And reminds you of the hard lessons of how the kicking game is such a vital part. And they did a fantastic job, and you have to give them a ton of credit in that regard. And it's a very frustrating weekend in that sense. So, but we see a lot of positives, and we were thrilled that guys that stepped up did a really nice job. We found out as we were leaving the locker room that Derek had cracked a bone in his foot. We got the final word just as we were going out, and Robert Turbin had to step up, play fullback, and did a beautiful job of helping out. Cooper Helfett did a real nice job of coming in when he hasn't had a chance to start a football game. So we got some good work from those guys, and that will help us down the road. There's areas of our ball we just have to get cleaner and sharper, and particularly on the defensive side. That's the inability to really disrupt the quarterback has been a factor, and so there's some things we have to do, and that will change us a little bit from what we've been in the past, and so we'll make those moves. But it's pretty clear where our focus is. So we're going to see if we can get right and play some good football and get going. We got a big trip coming up to Carolina, and we got to get our game in order so that we can have a chance to win there.
You say you do some different things that bring more pressure, different personnel.
Yeah, you're going to have to wait and see.
What were the breakdowns on the three special teams plays? The return, the two-punt return, the kick.
Yeah, we really got fooled on the return. It's a very, very disciplined situation for us, and John always kicks the ball in the corner and does a great job of doing it. He's been doing that for years for us. And we followed the returner, and instead of chasing the ball like we're supposed to, and so we gave them a free play, and they did a great job of setting it up, and it worked real well, and it couldn't have been more perfect for them. We just didn't get covered down on we got beat on the fake punt, in a very crucial call, and backed up by their own 20, and I mean it's a win or lose call right there, and you got to give it to them. It worked out for them, and we just didn't cover the guy not well enough in the flat. He made first down, so it's a heck of a play by them. And we got on the other one too, on the kick return. We relaxed thinking the guy's going to take a knee on the ball in the end zone, and then he came roaring out with it and split us for a huge return, put the ball in the 30. So they had three enormous plays that changed the course of the game, and to their credit, it was a great win.
Pass rush this season versus last season. What are some of the major differences you're seeing?
It's the combination, and I've said this before to you. It's the combination of guys getting clean on their rushes, off of play actions, and in the early downs, getting in the backfield. Also, us covering the guy down, making the quarterback hold the football for an extra beat. So that works hand in hand. And then it just in general, we've not been as effective with the things that we've done to rush the passer and pressures and stuff like that. So we've been very similar, and the results aren't the same. So we have to adjust.
How long is Derek Coleman going to be out for?
I don't know the end of that one, but he did break a bone in his foot, so that's usually 4 to 6 weeks anyway, and usually a 6 week, at the best.
Have you ever been to a stretch like this where you have a big trade that close to a game, and then from Wednesday to Sunday morning, you lose 3 players with injuries?
No, John, there's no way we've had that exact situation ever. I happened to be in Minnesota when the big trade with Herschel Walker was there, and so I saw that action, and I can't remember what happened in that game. I do remember that he had a 50-yard run the first time he carried the ball, and his shoe fell off. Other than that, I can't remember anything else about what the result of it was, but that was about as big a trade as you could ever be involved with.
How did Rob Turner do at fullback and
he made it through. He made it through. He's not taken any snaps there, to my recollection, ever. And so, but he, he understands the offense well enough that he knew who was supposed to get blocked, and so he actually was pretty effective at pointing out the right guys and making this play, and he was, having to figure out what that's like to be a lead blocker on plays, and he did fine. Did a nice job catching the ball and coming out of the backfield. So he's a nice threat there at that spot, and we'll have to see how we work through this week, how that's going to turn out. But that was an emergency situation, and he jumped to the front of it.
Michael Robinson an option to fill in for Coleman for you?
He's doing a really good job in the media right now. They're quite busy. Really encouraged by his efforts. Seems to be very, very well grooved in his business end of things.
Harold Simon, what happened to him? And what's his
He sprained his ankle, a light sprain. It blew up, but it's not a bad sprain, though. And he has a chance. He's popping around pretty good today, so he has a chance to get back this week. Maxie will have a chance to get back this week, too. We'll see how that goes during the week.
Harold, it looked like his emotions maybe got the best of him a couple times in that game, or at least what did you think of a couple of those
he got overly aggressive on his first coverage opportunity. Kind of jumped into the receiver some. That was a good call. And then he was just holding the guy off on when he was blocking him, and happened to get his fingers in his face mask, and so that was, it was unfortunate. And those are huge penalties, but I don't think that had anything to do with him. And then this guy took a poke at him, so other than that, he didn't respond. He did well there.
How good a play was the first one he made for himself?
No, it was big plays, first chance. It was really the same play we had against Dallas, the first third down, and we missed a tackle 2 weeks ago, and he makes the play. We get off the field, and it was a good start for us.
Steve Schilling, is he okay? Or?
Yeah, he came back and played, and he feels okay today. He got hit pretty hard, he got a big bruise, but he'll be able to get back.
Zach Miller or Max Unger have a chance to get back?
Max is working at it. We'll see. Zach's a little farther away. Zach's still in the boot right now, so he's not that close yet. But we expect him to make a big jump once he gets to the next level of his rehab. Max is doing some stuff this week. We'll see what happens as the week goes on.
Luke Wilson, what happened to him? And what?
He strained his groin on Wednesday's practice, and he worked out and could almost make it back. We felt like it was better to hold him out. It'd be better if we held him out and give him a chance to be back this week fully, so he has a good chance to get back. Should practice Thursday, Wednesday. Hopefully by Wednesday we can get him out, but Thursday for sure.
Pete, you said this morning on the radio that you talked to everybody on the plane about the Harvin trade. Did you get a feeling that you got honest reactions from them, or that were they telling you what you wanted to hear?
Why would you put it like that? Why would you put it like that? I think they answered very honestly. Yeah. Some guys were sleeping, so I didn't get every guy. I took a good accounting of the fellas and just to visit because it happens, so suddenly for them. I know exactly how they feel about it, yeah. And we had a really good talk about it and talked with guys from across the board on our team. I think it was pretty clear, that it was accepted as the next thing that we had to do. We did the right thing, and on we go. It was a team decision. No.
How much of an adjustment was it? I'm assuming he was in the game plan for you last week all the way up to Friday, and then all of a sudden...
He didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday that week, so that wasn't a big issue.
So it wasn't like he was a major plan for what you guys were doing in St. Louis anyway, or not?
We weren't able to know that, because he wasn't able to practice Wednesday or Thursday, and he got back on Friday though.
When you look at the whole situation, how do you think the team handled it, and how do you think this team is after?
I think they handled it really well. They took it in stride. I think they trust their decision making, and they've stood by us throughout. And I don't think there's any fallout at all. Obviously, like one of our guys said, you're human. You react. You have a response to it. But I don't think anybody had any problem, and everybody was concerned about getting the business of playing football, and so I think it was fine.
The pass rush, is it concerning the increased workload some of the guys are taking on? Bennett had 90% play time on Sunday.
Yeah. Our rotations aren't like they were a year ago, and we're going to try to make that work in the favor of the guys rushing the passer as best we can. Michael Bennett and Cliff Avery were playing more than they did. It seems like at this time last year.
What did you think of Paul Richardson and Kevin Norwood, and were their roles sort of continue to sort of expand?
Yeah, I've only said positive things about those guys because that's all you have. They've been impressive. They've worked really hard. They're terrific guys. They've learned their stuff. They've come along as far as they could with the opportunities that they've had so far. During the week, because the way the week was going, they had a lot of work. They were involved in the different subgroups that we had, and they did exactly what we had hoped for them. Really, Paul has been on it throughout. He's had a lot more work than Kevin has because Kevin missed 5 or 6 weeks or something, So, but both those guys are fit in. We love them. The quarterback, feels very confident using them. They have great catching range, and so it's a real plus that those guys got in the game, got to play, and hopefully we'll be able to keep growing with that.
Did you hear from the league at all on the Sherman fumble?
Yes. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I got a call from them this morning, and to just see if I had any questions about it. What I was concerned about, it was such a crucial moment in a game and such an unusual situation. Why wouldn't they take all the time they needed to make a clear-cut decision? And they felt like, from the looks that they had, that they wouldn't be able to determine anything more than what was called. And they couldn't say if it was right or wrong either because they couldn't tell. And so they saw that the ball was underneath Sherman. He had it right there, but they didn't feel like he had control of it from what they could see. So, they kind of agreed with the way it went. I was just made the point that really the decisive play in the game at the end of the game, why would you not take all of the time? It seems like that happens in the college game. They'll stop the game and they'll take a look and they'll investigate further. But based on what they saw, they felt like they had concluded that they weren't going to be able to help the situation any. So that's why they did it. I hope it brings awareness to the situation. Now, because it's the last play of the game or something like that. You'd like what's the rush? Let's figure it out.
What happened with Jordan Hill, and what's his status going forward?
Jordan sprained his ankle, I think, in the game last week, and he looks good today. He's going to try to practice Wednesday and see if he can go. He should be back in it.
Did the 2-point play? Did the Rams just defend that well, or what?
Yeah, they did. They defended where we wanted to go. They did a nice job. They kind of hopped in front of the route a little bit, and we just got off, the side that we thought we could hit, and so Russ had to, come back and try to find something. We couldn't come up with anything.
You've always preached the importance of the finish. You guys won a lot of close games last year. You lost 3 this year. Are you seeing anything common in between those, or anything that concerns you?
Just the result only, that we've positioned ourselves. I mean, these games could have gone the other way. Are these the games from last year, of those 5 games that were so close that we did win? Are these those? I don't know. We don't know that, but we've had opportunities, and we've had the chance to have the ball at San Diego. We've had the chance to go down the field in all of these games, one way or the other, and stop them in Dallas. And so it's unfortunate that the finish is so crucial, and the finish is really it hasn't worked out in our favor in those games. So, but the margin of where we are versus where we could be is so slight that the hope is very strong. And to see the big improvement on the offense this week was really encouraging and exciting. And so we're going to keep punching at it, and it's a long season with a lot of stuff that has to be determined, a lot of games in the division, all kinds of activity going to happen, and we got to see if we can turn those finishes and continue to improve. We're going to work on improving every week.
The linebackers played without Bobby.
They did okay. There was a couple of plays in there that we didn't hit it as hard as we'd like to on the edge, and the ball got out a little bit. But all in all, they played well. There was, you look at the game, they had 65, 70 yards rushing, to the last carry of the game or whatever it was. And so we played the game pretty well. It doesn't feel like it because the score was so out of whack, but, 170 yards thrown and 100 yards rushing can be a pretty good day for you in general, but it didn't spell that, this week.
How many games would you estimate Wagner might miss?
I don't know that. I'm not estimating that. I don't know.
Multiple,
I don't know.
be a while.
It's going to be a while.
How's Jeremy Lane doing?
That's my estimation. Jeremy will practice this week. He'll be back at it with still 2 more weeks in the term that he has to wait to come back.
It feels like Russell's taking a much more active role on offense, running the ball. Are you worried about him being in positions to get more injured?
Always, yeah, always. He's great at it. He understands, but he got smacked on a throw that I can't believe there wasn't something involved in the call there. But that was the biggest hit that he took. But he got tackled a couple times more than we want. He has a great conscience about it, and he knows how to stay out of trouble. We do not want him in that situation at all. So we would discourage him at every turn to get on anything but getting on the ground is what we need. Get out of bounds. Get on the ground as soon as you can. And he does a great job of that. He's not trying to run anybody over.
Is the way the offense played in the second half the most representative of what you guys want?
I think so. Yeah, that's why we're encouraged by it. We saw the whole run mechanism work together. Marshawn drew a lot of attention. Marshawn had a couple calls called back that would have been giving him significant yardage in the game. His factor allowed Russell to get out a little bit on the edge. And then the third down, situation in the second half was really 4 out of 5 in the second half. It was very sharp, and that's the way we like to look, and much more in the direction we're hoping to go.
Doug had a big day and played more maybe where he had been last year. I mean, is he more comfortable there, or just kind of worked out?
Yeah, he's been very effective there for us in the slot, and he's played a lot of outside stuff for us, which he does fine. But he's always been really difficult to cover inside. He's got a great sense for it, and he and Russell have a good chemistry, and I think that was pretty obvious. You know that was back in our favor, and hopefully we'll continue to get that from those guys.
Sense?
Yeah, it's his overall ball sense. He's got extraordinary quickness, you know, and he's very, very sudden. And the feel for the offense and what we're asking in the routes and versus the coverages, he and Russell have kind of grown up together in that, and I think we saw the benefit of that chemistry show up.
Moving outside and back inside affected him at all, or the offense at all, or changing?
Well, he wasn't inside as much, you know. That's part of his the outcome of really this exchange that just happened is he gets called on to play inside more so, and he stepped up and did a nice job.
What are you going on Thursday? How long ago did you recognize that despite being able to had to be
I've known Percy since he was in high school. We recruited him in high school and didn't get very close to getting him, but I've followed him for a long time.
It was the boost of the offense as simple as he wasn't there and the other pieces fit better this weekend?
I don't know. We'll see. We got this one game. It's really we played 2.5 quarters well. We have a long ways to go.
You referenced this more on the radio. You told John you thought you could make it work when you guys brought Percy. What was different than what you were hoping?
Forever in my recruiting days and in the league, I've coached all kinds of different guys, and I've always had, this isn't going to surprise you, but I always felt like it was going to work out. I'm going to be able to figure out a way to make it work. And with everybody that we decide to bring into this program, we do it for a specific reason with great consideration, and we have a plan. We have a vision for how it's going to go, and we didn't quite get there.
Do you have any sense as to why he didn't want to go back in at the end of the Dallas game last week?
He's a Jet.
Anything else?
Okay.